good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be watching this video from. This is Cornelius to be in that with another video. This video is a continuation from where we left off, answering the 2024 paper 2 GCE additional mathematics. This one carries 100 marks and time duration is 2 hours 30 minutes. Okay, so as we can see, formula over leaf there, and then we continue question 6a. Solve the equation 3 cos theta plus cot theta is equal to 0, given the range 0 degrees less than or equal to theta less than or equal to 360 degrees. So 3 cos theta plus cot theta equal to 0. Like that. I hope you can see 6a there. That's how I wrote it. Then we need to remember that cot theta, let me just clean that up. Okay, just zoom in more. Also zoom in more. Okay, you need to remember the identity that cot theta is equal to the inverse of tan theta, which is cos theta over sin theta. So we just need to recall this for us to proceed. Okay, so 3 cos theta plus, we have cos theta over sin theta is equal to 0, like that. Then we can multiply throughout by sin theta. Three cos theta cos theta sin theta plus, now we have cos theta is equal to 0. So multiplying throughout by sin theta does not change anything. Okay, so here we can't divide by cos theta again, it's not allowed. We can get rid of some solutions. So we factor out cos theta, but we become 3 sin theta, plus 1 is equal to 0. Cos theta is equal to 0, or 3 sin theta plus 1 is equal to 0. Cos theta is equal to 0, or sin theta is equal to -1 divided by 3. So in the first instance where cos theta is equal to 0, we'll say theta is equal to cos inverse of 0, and we know the angle that gives us 0, the inverse is like what angle should give you 0. If you type that on a calculator, you will find out that it is 90 degrees, because these are angles that we already know. And then we consider 0 to 360 degrees, so we'll say this is an answer. Again, theta is equal to 360 degrees minus 90 degrees. Okay, 270 degrees. And then we just go to this one. Theta is equal to sine inverse. Ignore the sign inside the parentheses here, so you ignore this sign here, and then it's going to be theta is equal to sine inverse of 1/3. Type that into your calculator. It's a 19.47, which is 19.5 degrees. And this is not part of the solutions because it's not in the required range. So I'm going to go to the second quadrant, where I will say theta, to the third and fourth quadrant, where I will say theta is equal to 180 degrees. That's 19.5 degrees, which is equal to 108 degrees plus 19.5, that is a 199.5 degrees. Of course, I just added 19, yeah, and 0.5, of course. That's your first solution. And then your next one, you said theta is equal to 360 degrees minus 19.5 degrees. So theta is equal to what? 360 minus 19.5, 340.5. And then to conclude, you arrange your answers in ascending order. Therefore, theta is equal to 19.5, not 4, I don't know where that 4 came from, 19.5 degrees, comma, I believe it's 90 degrees, comma, 19.5, sorry, 19.5 is not part of the solutions, right? I clearly noted that out. So the first one is actually supposed to be a 90 degrees, comma, the next one is a 119.5, 199, did I write 199 there? Okay, yeah. So 199.5 degrees. Next one is a 270 degrees. Then the last one is a 340. Yeah. 0.5 degrees. These are your final solutions for question 6A. Then we go to 6B. Quickly rush to 6B. This one is an interesting question. Given that tan theta is equal to n, where theta is an acute angle, find an expression in terms of n for cos theta. So tan theta is equal to n, where n is an acute angle. Find an expression in terms of n for cos theta carrying 2 marks, cos 2 theta carrying 2 marks. So tan theta is equal to n, where theta is an acute angle. Okay. So how you're supposed to do this is supposed to think of a triangle. This is B. Think of a right angled triangle, because these trig ratios, they apply to right angled triangles, right? So right angled, then you have your theta there. You can write it as theta. And then tan theta represents the slope. If tan theta represents the slope, it simply means that okay, so continuing from there, we can see that tan theta represents the opposite over the adjacent. So the opposite we know is n, the adjacent we know is a 1. Why do we know it's a 1? Because n, which is the opposite, divided by the adjacent, which is 1, it will give us tan theta is equal to n. And then this one, the hypotenuse, is given by the square root of 1 plus n. Squared. Because it will be c squared is equal to a squared plus b squared. And your first one is 1 squared, then your b is n squared, then you have your c squared is equal to 1 squared is 1, n squared is just n squared. Square root both sides. It means that your c will be equal to 1 plus n squared. Like that. Yes. This is the working if you want to know the working. And then from there, they have told us to know cos theta. That is the first part. I think that is B1. Let me just confirm if it is B1. Yeah, B1 cos theta, B2 cos 2 theta. Okay. So going to B1, Roman numeral 1, cos theta is equal to let's just write the ratio. It's adjacent, right? Adjacent over the hypotenuse. So it means that cos theta will be equal to, look at our diagram, adjacent side is 1, the hypotenuse is that expression there. So 1 divided by square root of 1 plus n squared is our cos theta. So 1 divided by such is our cos, and you get your 2 marks, as simple as that. So it's just using the diagram, there's nothing complicated there. Then the second one is cos 2 theta. For us to know how to simplify cos 2 theta, I need to know the trigonometric expansions. So if you know the expansions, then this can go well with us. So what is cos theta? Cos 2 theta, I mean. It is equal to cos, that is theta plus theta. Cos theta plus theta will give you 2 theta in the brackets. Now how do we expand that? It's equal to cos theta times cos theta minus sin theta sin theta. Then if you simplify it, it just simply means cos theta squared, or writing it in a different form, not simplifying, but it simply means this: cos theta squared minus sin theta squared. We don't know what sin theta is, so first of all we need to say sin theta is equal to what? From the diagram here, sin theta is opposite over hypotenuse, so n over that square root of 1 plus n squared. So n over square root of 1 plus n squared. Then it will be equal to cos theta squared. Cos theta, we found it as what? 1 divided by square root of what? 1 plus n squared. Let me just write that properly. N squared. Let's confirm our cos theta. Yes. Then you write it in a bracket, squared. Then minus sin theta is what? N divided by square root of 1 plus n squared. Then you also square it. Then simplifying this bracket multiplies itself twice. This bracket multiplies itself twice. We're going to have is equal to 1 divided by 1 plus n squared. Then minus, here we're going to have n squared divided by 1 plus n squared. Then it's going to become is equal to 1 minus n squared, like that, divided by that's simplifying it. Or let's do it like this so that it can make sense. Lowest common denominator is 1 plus n squared. 1 plus n squared into 1 plus n squared is a 1 times 1 is a 1, minus 1 plus n squared into 1 plus n squared is a 1 times n squared will be 1 minus n squared. Well, then you can just conclude, therefore cos 2 theta is equal to 1 minus n squared divided by 1 plus n squared. So 1 minus n squared divided by 1 plus n squared is another way we can write cos 2 theta, and we are done. We get our 2 marks. It's just you simplifying, knowing what to do, that's all. Yes. And then we move on from there to question 7. in an arithmetic progression, the sum of the first 12 terms is that 22. The sum of the first 14 terms is 357. Find the 7th term using that information, carrying 5 marks. Okay. So the sum of the first 12 terms is 282. This is question 7a. First 12 terms 282. Okay. So we have A. Sum of the first 12 terms is equal to 282. And then the other part of the question reads that the what? The sum of the first 14 terms is 357. Sum of the first 14 terms is 357. So 282, 357. Then we want you to find the 7th term. And then we'll say term 7 is equal to question mark. Then from there we can just start forming equations. Okay. Some of the first 12 terms. So we know that 12 divided by 2 multiplied by 2a, which you don't know, plus 12 minus 1 is 11 multiplied by, let's remove those square brackets. Yeah. So it would be written like this. 12 over 2, 2a. 12 minus 1 is 11 multiplied by d is equal to 282 from the information given. And then simplifying, we can multiply both sides by 2. Where this and this will give you a 1. And we can distribute the, for now, let's leave the 12 out there. So it will be 12 multiplied by 2a plus 11d is equal to what is 282 times 2 is 564. 564. Let's try to see if 12 can go into 564. It can for 7 times. Okay. You can do it like that.
Oh, that's fine.
Is your money? Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure.
2a plus 11d will be equal to a 47 as earlier simplified. This is our equation 1. Then our equation 2 will be what? It will be sum of the first 14 terms, 14 divided by 2. This is one of many methods you can use, plus 13d. Why 13d? It's 14 minus 1 multiplied by d. So 13d is equal to 357. So here it's better we don't, simplify, but we can cross multiply in a way where you can have, due to space, I'll just write it like this. We can have something like this. We'll just maintain how the bracket is looking. That's 13d. Then everything divided by 2 is equal to 357. 57. Okay, and then here we can cross multiply. 14 2a plus 13d is equal to 357 times 2, 357 times 2, which is 714. Let's try to see if 14 can go into 714. Oh yes, it can 51 times. This is why it's best not to, simplify too much, such that so it's best you're just dealing with such a juice on your working. So 2a plus 13d is equal to a 51 as our equation 2. Equation 2. So here we have 2a, 11d, 47. We solve them simultaneously. Here it's the best. The best is elimination, seen from the way they are set up. 2a plus 11d is equal to 47. Then 2a plus 13, not 31, it's supposed to be 13d is equal to 51. Subtract, and then we'll be subtracting going upwards. So it will be 13d minus 11d, which is 2d, is equal to 51 minus 47. That's going to give you a 4. Divide by 2, divide by 2, 2 can go to a 1, 2 can go into a 1, and then that is a 2. So we're going to have d is equal to a 2. Simple as that. And then from there, after finding d, let d be equal to 2 in equation 1. So we use equation 1, which is 2a plus 11d. So 2a plus 11d, which is a 2, is equal to a 47. 2a plus 22 is equal to 47. 2a is equal to a 47 minus 22 is a 25. Divide by 2, divide by 2, a will be equal to 25 over 2. So d is a 2, your a is equal to a 25 over 2. And then you can use this, you can improve these answers. Well, you can say the sum of the first 12 terms, 12 divided by 2 multiplied by, open bracket, 2 multiplied by a, which is a 25, over 2 close bracket, plus 12 minus 1, which is 11, multiplied by d, which is a positive 2, close the bracket. You're going to have a 282, then 14 divided by 2, open bracket, 2 multiplied by 25 divided by 2, and then you're going to have plus 14 minus 1, which is a 13, multiplied by d, which is a 2. You're going to have a 357, which proves these answers are valid. Okay, next. T sub n is equal, so this is the nth term. N minus 1d, which is a 25 divided by 2, the 7th term, plus 7 minus 1 is a 6 times d, 6 times the d, which is a 2, 6 times 2 is 12. over 2 plus 12 is the same as 24 over 2. You're going to have a 49 over 2 as the seventh term, or t subscript 7 is equal to 2 can go into a 48, that's I believe 19 times. Yes, 48 divided by 2 is 9 is sorry, into 48. Yeah, I meant 48. It's supposed to be 24 times, you know. So 24 remainder 1 over 2, 24 and a half, not 19. Pardon me for that. I was thinking of 38. Okay, so this is your final answer for the 7th term. Yeah. So we move on. You get your 5 marks like that. The first, the second, the third terms of a geometric progression are y plus 5, y, and y minus 4, respectively. Calculate. This is b1, the value of y, then b2, the common ratio. Okay. So both carrying 2 marks. The first, second, and third terms, these are consecutive terms. Okay? So we can easily find the common ratio because we know they are consecutive terms. This is why it's carrying 2 marks. So we have the first, second, and third terms, y plus 5, y, and y minus 4. Y plus 5, y, and y minus 4. So we're going to have a b, y plus 5, y, y minus 4. So the common ratio r is given by what? You have the second term divided by the first is equal to the third divided by the second. So the second, y over y plus 5 is equal to the third, which is y minus 4, divided by the second, which is y. So y minus 4 divided by y. You cross multiply. It's going to be y multiplied by y plus 5. So y squared plus 5y is equal to y squared. And already you can see where this is going. Look at this. So you had your y divided by y plus 5, and then you had y minus 4 divided by y. You can see that y has the same sign on each side of the equation. So already it's cancelling out the y squared. So you simplement it, 5y is equal to nothing, 0. So divide by 5 divided by 5, you're going to have y is equal to 0. You conclude, therefore y is equal to 0. Okay. So y is equal to 0. That's why it was carrying 2 marks. You have seen very strategic why they did that. Then the common ratio now is also carrying 2 marks. The common ratio, well, we know y is 0. So it means the terms are what? So we have a 0 plus 5, comma 0, and then comma 0 minus 4. The 0 plus 5 is a 5, comma 0, comma negative 4. So if you go back, let's just confirm one more thing. So it was of a geometric progression. So you say y divided by y plus 5 is equal to y minus 4 divided by y. Y divided by y plus 5 is equal to y minus 4 divided by y. Wait, how did we multiply first of all? Yeah, that was supposed to give us y squared, but yeah, that's why we're finding these answers. Sorry for that. Just trying to see where I got ahead of myself there. So we were supposed to actually simplify like this, because there I didn't see that those who I was only seeing a y up here. I wasn't seeing the minus 4 there. Take note. So it's going to be a y plus 5 multiplied by y minus 4 is equal to y squared, which is y times y across. Then of course this y is equal to 0 is not the correct solution. And then we expand this bracket. It's going to be y squared minus 4y plus 5y, and then minus 20 is equal to y squared. Of course, y squared, now they can cancel out and it's making sense. Well, we'll have a y minus 20 is equal to 0. Then we'll have y is equal to 20. So this is still simple working. This is why it's carrying 2 marks. Y is equal to 20. Yes. Take note. It was just supposed to be y plus 5 multiplied by a y minus 4. Which is very simple to simplify. Y squared minus 4y plus 5y minus 20. You have a y minus 20 equal to 0, like that. Y equal to 20. So then you can go to the second part. This is b1. Then the second part will be a 20 plus 5, comma, a 20, comma, 20 minus 4. 20 plus 5 is a 25, comma, 20, comma, 16. So you can pick any of them. I'm going to pick the second and the first term. R is equal to that. Five can go into that of 4, 5 can go into that of 5. So R is equal to 4 divided by 5. Then of course 16 over 20, 4 can go into 16, 4 can go into 25, so it will still give you R equal to 4 over 5. So we are done with that particular question. We still have a lot of space remaining on that page, but won't be sufficient for the next question, because the next question is statistics. You know, these are free marks, very free marks. Statistics, it's all about you just representing what you know, the data that you know. So I'm going to use a table method in this video, and I think in the next video I'm going to use the other method. The table shows the heights to the nearest centimeter of a random sample of 150 male adult males. You have some heights there, then they want you to find the median class. How can you know the median class? And then B, they want you to calculate the estimate of the mean. Then B2, they want you to calculate the standard deviation. So the estimate of the mean, we'll see it on the table method. But first of all, let's go to 8A, which is find the median class. Okay, so question 8A, we can let's just write question 8 on one page. So 8A, median class is equal to the total, which is 150. Total number of people, you divide by 2, which is going to give you a what? So you divide by 2, which is going to give you a 75. So in which class is the 75 occurring? So this is the working median class is equal to, so let me not write median class here. Maybe that's not mathematics, or that's not correct. Let me write it like this. So we'll say is equal to 150 divided by 2, which is equal to a 75. And then median class is where the 75 is falling. Let's start adding. So we have a 3 plus, so we have a 3 plus a 10, which is 13, plus 113, which is a 126, plus 16, which is a 142. Alright, I've already passed the median. Now let me start again. I'm supposed to say, is that a 3 first of all? I believe that must be a 5. Yeah, that's a 5. Okay, so I have a 5 plus a 10, which is a 15, plus 113, which is a 128. So the median is falling in this class, which is 170 to 179. That's the median class. Then let's now go to B. We're just going to set up the table method. So we're going to draw the table. Let's do this like that. Oh, that's bend. Okay, something just approximate, And then we also do like that. Oof. So like that. Okay, and then we're going to drop it down. Let me just hurry up. This video shouldn't become too lengthy. So reduce the size where we can reduce. Okay. So let's start with the values of x. Now we'll say x. Okay, the first value was what? These represent the frequencies. Then the others, what is above, represents values of x. We need to take the midpoint. So the midpoint will be 150 plus 159 divided by a 2. 154.5. Then 160 plus 169 divided by 2, 164.5. Then you have 170 plus 179 divided by 2, 174.5. Then you have 180 plus 189 divided by 2, 184.5. And then we have 190 plus a 199 divided by 2. It's going to give us 194.5. Like that, yes. So the first value is 154.5, so 54, 64, 74. Let me try to see. 54, 64, 74, 84, 94. So up to 94. That's what we're going to use to remember the values. Okay. So it's going to be 154.5, and then you have a 164.5. Yeah, we can extend this. Then you have a 174.5. You can extend this more. You have a 184.5. Then you have 194.5. Like that. Then we go to the frequency column. Also extend accordingly, frequency column. So the frequencies, corresponding frequencies, we just get the numbers as they are. So 5, 10, 113. We have a 5, a 10, a 113, and then we have 16, then we have a 6. Then we have a 6. 16, then we have a 6. The next column is x times f. So just going to increase it a bit. So we have x times f. Let's try to draw it down. Okay. So what is our x times f? Which is fx. Start multiplying across. X times f is 154.5 times 5. So this is be 772.5. 164.5 times 10 would be 1,000. Yeah, 645. 174.5 times 113 to be 19,718. $718.5. Then we have 184.5 times 16, 2952. 194.5 times 6, 1167. Yes. Then you can proof check. So 194.5 times 6, 184.5 times 16, 174.5 times 113, 174.5 times 113, yes, and 164.5 times 10, 154.5 times 5, like that, simple as that. And then we need to add, so we can do something like this. We can drop it more like that.
Should I use the cooking oil? The used cooking oil? Anything is okay? Anything?
Okay, yeah, no problem.
Summation of fx, summation of f. We already know that if you add them together they'll give you 150, but just to prove we can add. So 5 plus 10 plus 113 plus 16 plus 6, 150. Then the next one will be 772.5 plus 164.5 plus 19718.5 plus 2952 plus 1167 plus, yeah, that's it. So 1167, 2952, 19,718.5, 164.5, 772.5, 24,774.5. Yeah, I think the spaces here are too small. Okay, so the line is supposed to be drawn there, then we say summation of f, summation of fx, which is equal to 150 here, then here it is equal to 24,774.5. $24,774.5. Yeah, failed to fit, so I've written it like that. Okay, so then the next column will be to find the mean. X bar represented by X bar can just be a small one. X bar 24,000, this divided by 150. So let's just correct it to three significant figures. It's 165.1633, but I'll just get 165. 165, 165, 165, 165, then a 165. Yeah, this line can continue going straight like that. The next one will be the x value minus the mean value. So x minus x bar
Engineer 6.
86.
Yeah. I should be there.
then I can say x minus x bar squared, then f of x, not f of, I meant f times x minus x bar squared. Yes. So let's make this column big. I believe these will be big numbers. Okay. Extending them like that. Okay. Let's start with the first one. X is 154.5. Okay. So 154.5 minus a 165, negative 10.5. You square it. 110.25. 110.25. You multiply by f times 5. You're going to have a 551.25.
There's some free giant.
551.25. Then I'm going to have a 164.5 minus 165. This is, is a 0.5. Negative 0.5. Square it. You're going to have 0.25. And then the next one will be times f. F is a 10. So times 10, we're going to have a 2.5. Very small value. Yeah, 2.5. Because the difference was minimal. The next thing will be a 174.5. 174.5 minus 165. 9.5 is your answer. You square it. 90.25. Then this one multiply by 113, which is 113. It's going to give you a big number. 10,000. 198.25. 198.25. $10,198.25. Then the next one is 184.5. 184.5 minus a 165. You're going to have a 19.5. Square it. So you're going to have a 19.5. Then a 380.25. Then times the frequency, which is 16 times 16, will be a 6,084. Then the next thing will be 194.5. 194.5 minus 165. You're going to have a 29.5. You square it. 870.25 is your answer. And then you multiply by the frequency, which is just a 6. 5,000 to 21.5. Okay. So for future videos, we'll just be using the other method. I'm using this method. Why? It's because we need to be used to seeing all methods being used. So here to be summation. Okay. Let me just reduce summation of f x minus x bar squared. So that's what we have ended up with. As you saw there, we were squaring, then we multiply by the frequencies, the respective frequencies. Then when you add this across, you're going to have 551.25 plus 2.5 plus 10,198.25 plus 6,084 plus 521.5. So 521.5. 521.5, 6,084. I didn't write 84. 521.5, 6,084, 10,198.25 plus 2.5, then plus 551.25. You're going to have 22,057 57.5. Yes. So 22,057.5. Okay, so it means we are done with that representation of the table method. Okay, then B1, just to find the mean, x bar is equal to summation of fx divided by summation of f, which is equal to summation of fx we found as 24,774.5 divided by summation of f, which was 150. Correct the three significant figures. Our f bar, our mean, was given by a 165. Then the second question is standard deviation. Using this method, standard deviation is equal to the square root of what we found in the last column, f times x minus x bar squared divided by summation of f, like that. So it's going to become is equal to the square root of f multiplied by x minus x bar squared is 22,057.5 divided by 150. We simplify everything, so 20,000 divided by 150 is giving us a good number in the square root. Square root of 147.05. Standard deviation is equal to square root of that is a 12.126, so 12.1. Correct the three significant figures. Therefore, standard deviation is equal to 12, not 21, 12.1. Then we can go back to confirm. Yeah, they said an estimate of the mean, then the standard deviation. This was our B. Then we are done with our question 8. Now we go to our question 9. Which reads, the diagram shows part of the curve y is equal to 4 minus x squared and the line y is equal to 3 meeting at the point A. Then the first question is find the coordinates of A and B carrying 4 marks. So y is equal to 4 minus x squared, then y is equal to 3. So this is question 9A. Yeah. Is this just A1 or just A? So question 9. Yeah, just A. Coordinates of A, where they intersect, and B, the point on the y-axis for the curve. Y is equal to 4 minus x squared and y is equal to 3. Okay. So we have a curve and a linear straight line. So y is equal to 4 minus x squared and y is equal to 3. Since both are equal to y, we can say 4 minus x squared is equal to 3. We are going to have 4 minus 3 is equal to x squared. 1 is equal to x squared. Square root both sides. X is equal to plus or minus 1. And since we're just considering the positive side of the axis, so x is equal to 1. So you say let x be equal to 1 in y. So this is where they are intersecting. We already have y is equal to 3. So since our only aim was to find x is equal to 1, so it means that the point A is a 1, 3. Because if you substitute a 1 into this equation, you will still find a 3. Okay, then the next step is to find the coordinates of B. To find the coordinates of B, you say when x is equal to 0 in so let me not finish up this space. This space is supposed to be used for the volume question. It's quite involving. We'll say when x is equal to 0 in, this is y is equal to 4 minus x squared, which is equal to 4 minus 0. Y is equal to 4. So therefore the coordinates of A are 1, 3 and coordinates of B are 0, 4 respectively. And then the second question for this question 9 says the volume obtained by rotating the shaded region through 306 degrees about the y-axis. Yeah, so this is where you're just going to integrate with respect to y, which is dy. If it was about the x-axis, it would be dx, not because about the y-axis, you say dy. So since they're saying about the y-axis, the limits are from what? From C to B. We can't take the limits from 0, for example 0 to A, which is a 1, because it will be found in this particular area, which is not what we want. We just want this portion up there, right there. And if we are to integrate the area under this curve from C to B, it means we would find the particular answer we are looking for. So it means that we are integrating with respect to y. We need to form an equation having y. So y is equal to 4 minus x squared. Y as the variable, not y as the main equation. Okay. So here we're going to say be, so y is equal to 4 minus x squared. It means it will be x squared is equal to 4 minus y. You square root both sides, you square root both sides. X is equal to square root of 4 minus y. And we are only considering the positive part of this curve. Of course the curve is negative, but we just need to consider the positive part, so there's no need for us to say plus or minus. We just say square root of 4 minus y, where we had the x squared goes that side, the y goes that side. So volume will be equal to pi multiplied by the integral from b to c. B was 3, c was 4, and then you have square root of 4 minus y, and then you have to, that has to be squared, then we have dy. Simple as that. So it's going to be equal to pi integral from 3 to 4. Then what is inside the parentheses will just become 4 minus y, because if you square a square root, you're just going to remain with what is inside the square root. I hope that makes sense. Then it's going to become the first of all we integrate, say is equal to pi, it's going to be 4y minus, so we're integrating here, minus y, so there's y to the power 1 become y to the power 2, divide by 2, then from 3 to 4. So it's going to be equal to pi multiplied by open bracket, substitute the upper limit, 4 times y, which is 4 times y, which is a 4 minus 4 squared over 2, minus a lower limit, 4 multiplied by y, which is 3 minus 3 squared over 2, like that. So it's going to be equal to pi multiplied by the integral of 4 times 4 is 16, 16 times 2 is 32 over 2, 32 over 2 is the same as 16, then 4 squared is a 16 over 2, then minus in here, 4 times 3 is a 12, times 2 is a 24 over 2, then minus 3 squared is a 9 over 2, like that. To be equal to pi multiplied by here the overall result you're going to have is a 16 divided by 2, then minus 24 minus 9 is a 15. 24 minus 9 is a 15. 15 over 2. That's going to be equal to pi multiplied by 16 over 2 minus 15 over 2 is a 1 over 2. So therefore volume will be equal to pi over 2 units cubed. As you can see there, volume is equal to pi over 2 units cubed. Yeah, so that was the working you're supposed to carry out there. Where you integrate becomes 4y minus y squared over 2, and that becomes 16 over 2, that's the same as 32 over 2, which is just 16, then they add 24 over 2, which is just a 12, then 9 over 2, and then you're going to remain with something like that. Then that will be your answer. So 5 marks for search, but it required a lot of thinking for you to move like that. That's why it was given 5 marks. Then our last question for this video. A particle starts from rest at 0 and moves in a straight line so that t seconds later its velocity v meters per second. So we can see that it has units, which is meters. Very important to note. Is given by v is equal to negative t squared plus 2t, given that the particle comes instantaneously to rest at q. Find the time taken to reach q. Very rich information has been given here. Instantaneously to rest. What does it mean when a particle comes instantaneously to rest? It simply means that the particle came to a momentary halt. That's another way of saying it. Meaning that at that particular point, v is equal to 0. So v is equal to negative t squared plus 2t. 10a, negative t squared plus 2t. So I'm going to question 10a. Where did we answer our volume? Oh, volume question. Where is it? Did it fill the page? I think we just continue accordingly. It looks like there is enough space on this page. So question 10a, v is equal to negative t squared and then minus 2t, like that. And we can confirm plus 2t. Okay. So it's equal to negative t squared plus 2t. And then we can say derivative dv. Okay, we don't even need to find the derivative because I've already been given the velocity function, right? I was thinking this was s function. So since we know our v function is this, at instantaneous rest, v is equal to 0. So we are going to say negative t squared, okay? Negative t squared plus 2t is equal to 0. That's what we can note. I hope we can see that. So we are going to say we can factor out a negative t while you have a positive t minus a 2 is equal to 0. So negative t is equal to 0 or t minus 2 is equal to 0. So it means t is equal to 0 or t is equal to 2. So we go back to the question. Later, given that the part comes to instantaneously to rest at the point q, we have found the time taken to reach q. The time taken to reach q is what? 2 seconds. Because at the time, the first point where it comes to instantaneous rest is in the beginning, of course, because it was starting from rest. So therefore, we can just say therefore t is equal to 2. Don't need to say therefore time taken to. T is equal to 2 what? Seconds. Not 2 marshmallows, but 2 seconds. And then we have B, acceleration of q. So here, if you don't know what you're doing, you can find even different answers. So we have acceleration of q. What do we do to find the acceleration of q? We differentiate the velocity function. So this will give us what? This is B, acceleration of q. V is equal to negative t squared plus 2t. acceleration is equal to dv dt, which is equal to negative 2t plus a 2. They were saying at q, and we know when t is equal to a 2, acceleration is equal to negative 2t, which is a 2 plus 2. So it's going to be equal to a negative 4 plus 2. Therefore, acceleration is going to be equal to a negative 2 meters per second. You can say second squared, like that. As simple as that. Negative 2 meters per second. So yeah. So you differentiate accordingly, and you get that. You got your C. Distance or Q. Distance or Q. So when you're finding the distance, this is where people get it. This is why distance always carries this number of marks. I will send this document in the comments of the video. This is why it carries 4 marks, because people underestimate the question. I'll circle it blue. The reason it carries 4 marks is simple, because it's not a straightforward question. So we know that V is equal to negative t squared plus 2t. So at instantaneous rest, it came to instantaneous rest at t is equal to 0 seconds and t is equal to 2 seconds. Instantaneous rest. So what do we know? So what we know is that the particle at t is equal to 0 seconds was moving in a particular in the reverse direction. Okay, and then when time was equal to 2 seconds, it started going in the defined direction, maybe in the forward direction. If it was going, maybe it was going in the backward direction as they're going in the forward direction. So we need to integrate from 0 to 2. Very simple question. Does not that involve in this one. Very lucky the ones writing this here. Velocity is equal to the integral from 0 to 2 seconds. Sorry, we are trying to find the distance or Q. Is it a distance? Let's try to confirm. Anyways, it is the distance, because you can say distance. Why? Because we're considering from 0 to 4 seconds. Otherwise, if we're maybe considering 8 seconds, it would have said displacement, because distance would involve direct calculations, which is not the way we go about these questions. So distance or Q is equal to the integral from 0 to 2 of v dt. I don't need to put v in brackets, and just say it like that, which is equal to the integral from 0 to 2 of v, which is negative t squared plus 2t dt, which is going to be equal to negative t cubed divided by a 3 plus 2t squared divided by a 2, where the 2 and 2 will cancel out. Remember, taking the integral from 0 to 2, so this will be equal to a negative t cubed divided by a 3 plus t squared. Taking the integral from 0 to 2, this will be equal to, we have a negative 2 cubed so we are only cubing the the 2, but there's a negative sign in front. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Then plus 2 squared, then minus, you can just write it accordingly. I wanted to say minus 0, but let's just show the working. That gives us 0. So 0 cubed divided by 3 plus 0 squared. This is unnecessary, but you can write it. Is equal to negative 2 cubed, negative 8 divided by 3. Then 4 squared is 8. Yeah, I mean 2 squared, not 4 squared. 2 squared is 4. 4 times 3 is 12. So plus 12 over 3. We are going to have a 4 over 3. And then distance OQ is going to be equal to 1, remember 1 over 3 meters. Simple as that. So you can go through the working. We integrated. It became like that from 0 to 2, because we found t is equal to 2. Then we had a negative 2 cubed divided by a 3 plus a 2 squared, which gave us 1, remainder 1 over 3. And we were very careful in finding the instantaneous rest point. We differentiated and we found that answer, negative 2 meters per second squared, or you can say per second. Yeah, so this marks the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching this video. This has been Cornelius with another video, and bye bye.